Brittany Ortiz is suing Eric Stevenson, her ex-boyfriend, for unpaid cell phone bills. Now, on paper, the plaintiff and the defendant are a match made in cell phone heaven. Okay. She loves to text, and you could wear a sign that says, "We'll date," for a phone.
Okay.
Now, in your statement, you say that your relationship with the defendant moved very quickly and that after a week you were exclusive, and you put him on your cell phone, and then a few weeks later you break up with him. The defendant claims it was because of you, Mom. And you say that when Mom found out or got wind of your plans for the future, marriage and babies, that she flipped her lid and threatened to cut off the family jewels.
Yes, she did, ma'am.
All right. Is
Absolutely.
it true that you, Brittany, were making plans to have babies with the defendant? And he says that you were picking out baby names, and in fact, you were following a fertility calendar. Is that true?
No, I was not. No, that is not correct. I was not following a fertility calendar or anything like that. We had talked about it, but nothing.
All right.
Nothing set in stone or anything like that. There was no pregnancy.
So you may be wondering what any of this has to do with the claim for an unpaid cell phone bill. Now, I'm simply trying to establish who's telling the truth, because she's going to say, he owes me for the phone. He's going to say it's a gift. And what you do is you kind of filter through stuff and try to figure out what makes sense, what doesn't sound, legit, and what does. So I'd love to hear this story.
Absolutely.
You dated for how long?
It will be a year this July.
Really?
Ago that everything.
But you didn't date for a year.
No.
You dated for a month.
Yeah, correct.
That's what I thought.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, where did you meet?
We met.
Why are you shaking your head?
Because this is ridiculous.
So why are you here, Mr. Ridiculous?
Because I heard the voicemail that his mom left him when she was hammer drunk.
Hammer drunk.
Yeah.
Do you know her mom?
No, I've never met her. I just heard the
So
voicemail.
are you familiar with her?
No, I met.
So then how can you say that you heard her voice on the phone if you're not familiar with her voice?
She left him a voicemail.
That's ridiculous. You sit down.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
We actually met on the 4th of July, so...
All right, so you liked each other. The connection was immediate?
Exactly.
Absolutely,
All right.
ma'am.
So when does the phone come in?
We needed to communicate because he didn't have a cell phone at the time.
Why didn't you have a cell phone?
I just broke up with my ex-girlfriend for 6.5 years that I dated, so...
What? Was your last cell phone on your old girlfriend's plan?
Yes, yeah.
See what I mean?
Well, hold on a second.
All right, I'll hold on, Eric.
6.5 years is a long time. Like,
What's
we were
that
together.
got to do with anything?
Well, it was easier to pay the bills that way.
What is the conversation, Eric, when she gives you a cell phone?
Okay, so the only way she was able to talk to me is through a landline at my mom's house, but I was always gone, out with my friends, doing whatever.
How about working?
Like, I had to transfer jobs, and I wasn't...
But what job did you transfer to?
I was working at Express Clothing.
Did you actually transfer?
No, I just quit.
Okay, so you really didn't transfer?
No,
and
ma'am.
You didn't have a job, and you weren't moving jobs. Did you just wink at me?
Yes. Yeah, that's...
Okay.
So he did get the job.
You know what? I want to hear from your mother.
Oh, please, this will be great.
Yeah.
Your Honor, this is a typical example of an irresponsible punk taking advantage of my daughter. She was doing something nice in the relationship, wanted to have communication with him, got him the cell phone if he got a job. He got a job at Express, but he didn't work that often. He only worked a couple hours, couple days. At that point, the relationship started turning a little sour. They ended up breaking up. She continued to try to call him and text him to get some kind of response of payment. He would not respond to any texts or any calls.
Ignored everything.
At that point,
now, you know that she's paying. Hold on,
Yes, ma'am.
Eric. You know that she's paying for the phone.
Yes.
You break up after a month?
Yes.
Okay, so much for a fertility calendar.
Yeah,
You didn't
see?
even
That
flip
is
it.
exactly why.
Okay.
All right, so you break up after a month. Am I reading you were working on baby names?
Yeah, we actually laid in bed quite a few times and just laughed about baby names and looked on the computer.
It's always talk.
Do you remember what the baby's name was?
No, I do.
I do, because
What?
it was Josephine, because my middle name is Joseph, by the way.
That's
Yes.
So that's a very cute thing, isn't it?
So you're
Yeah.
having a girl, that's
Yep.
it?
Yes, I want girls, not
Yeah,
boys.
he told me if I would have a boy, he would push it back up in me.
All right, be
You know,
quiet,
it's something. Yes, ma'am.
because you're going to get yourself in more trouble. I get the sense. Go ahead.
They made a deal. They signed a promissory note. They were in contact. He
Did you
s-
sign a promissory note, Eric?
Yes,
Yep,
ma'am,
I have
did.
it right here.
I signed the promissory note
And it
because
was
I was
notarized.
threatened.
You were
That's what-
threatened?
I received a voicemail. I woke up and I had a voicemail from her mom. The message said, if you do not stop talking to my daughter and leave my daughter alone, I have family members that will kill you,
Oh,
find
that
you,
is
and chop
incorrect. That is
off
not
your
true.
Very
testicles.
incorrect.
I will state for the record that I did threaten to cut off his testicles and shove them down his throat because he has manipulated
I
her
got the-
and guilted her.
Going this way, baby's going this way.
So, of course, that in tune, he could never be the man to get her pregnant.
Why
because
were you
he
so
wouldn't
angry?
have it.
Because you heard they were talking about babies?
Oh, no,
Because-
not at all.
She's mad at you. Why?
She didn't want her daughter getting pregnant.
Can you
And-
blame her?
No, I can't blame her because.
First of all, you
let's pull
barely
out the
have a
guns.
job.
How many abortions did you have, ma'am, when you were a child?
Oh, my God.
15 to 20?
No way! Oh my gosh!
That's the reason why she did not want her daughter to get pregnant.
That is such a
Where did I
lie.
get this information?
How would you make that claim in this court?
Thank you.
Because I think it's
Unless
her aunt.
she told you herself.
Okay.
That's
Thank
not
you.
only not relevant, but why would you say that?
Because that's the reason she was afraid that her daughter was going to get pregnant. She was going to
No,
make her
if
get an
anything,
abortion.
that would be something that she knew would be an option.
Exactly. That's ridiculous.
that's
That would be an
exactly
option,
true.
all right.
Look,
That's ridiculous.
she didn't like you.
No, she didn't. But she did
Do you
at the
think it
beginning.
had something to do
In
with the fact that you didn't have a job? All right. Now, Eric, this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
signed by you. You agreed to pay $470, which is what they're suing you for.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this
I-
your signature?
Yeah, the lady told me she was going to have her family members kill
That
me
is
and
a
chop
lie.
my testicles
Dan, that
off.
is a lie.
It's
Your
such
Honor.
a lie.
So why didn't you call the cops?
I didn't call the cops because I don't know. I just
I
didn't.
would never threaten anybody.
Why didn't he call the cops?
Oh, well, that's not his. That's not his
Hey,
business.
they're not threatening to chop off my.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's not my problem.
Oh, my goodness.
Whatever. My bad. Testicles. I'm sorry.
What do you want to say in closing, Brittany? What did you learn from all of this? Mom, sit
lot.
down. Sit down, Mom.
A lot.
What did
I
you
definitely learned a lot about it. And a lot of the stuff I didn't know about him, his criminal background, all that. There's 7
You know what? I was ready to
cases.
close this case.
There was 7 cases that he's had against him.
There is no pending charges.
Eric,
What do you-
what is this?
I'm trying to figure out what that is. I don't know.
It's your criminal record.
I know. I was convicted.
I can tell you a few of them if you'd like
All right,
to
everybody,
hear them.
calm down, calm down. This is what it says. Driving without a license, 05, 06, 07. Warrant in 09, driving with a suspended license, failure to appear. 07, resisting arrest, misdemeanor, drug abuse, paraphernalia, guilty. Okay?
Yep.
I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
what it says.
I was put on probation for that
I
and
don't care.
successfully
I don't care.
terminated.
Look, here's the issue. You're driving without a license. I'm going to give you a bit of advice, okay,
Yeah.
Eric? You're a young guy, and you've already been arrested more than once.
Yes, ma'am.
Good-looking guy like you doesn't want to go to state's prison.
No.
Trust me.
Oh, yes.
Stop driving without a license.
Yeah.
Verdict for the plaintiff. 470, so ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.